Pop quiz. Which of the following lab values would the nurse suspect to find in a patient experiencing Addisonian crisis? A. Hypernatremia, hyperglycemia, and leukocytosis. B. Hyponatremia, hyperkalemia, and hypoglycemia. C. Hypernatremia, hypokalemia, and hyperglycemia. Or D. Hyponatremia, hypokalemia, and hyperglycemia. What do you guys think? Okay, well, before I tell you what the answer is, what would you eliminate automatically? Here's the thing. We're talking about Addisonian crisis. Whenever you think of Addison's disease or Addisonian crisis, we know we need to add salt, sex, and sugar. We need to add salt, sodium, add sex, those androgen hormones, add sugar, glucose, right? Because the patient doesn't have enough of them. So if the patient has Addisonian crisis or Addison's disease, we know they are lacking those three things. So automatically, you should have gotten rid of A and C, because A is hyper, which means they have too much, and C is hyper, which means they have too much. We know we have to add these things so the patient doesn't have enough. So it's either going to be B or D, because both of those are hypo. Let's look at B. B says hyponatremia, hyperkalemia, hypoglycemia. And D says hyponatremia, hypokalemia, hyperglycemia. Well, we know it's not D. Number one, D has hyperglycemia, which means the glucose would be high. Remember, we have to add glucose. They don't have enough of it. So that can't be it. That's number one. And number two, sodium and potassium have an inverse relationship. So that means when that sodium is low, we expect to see potassium to be high, right? They have an inverse relationship. With that being said, I told you in Addison's crisis, we need to add salt, add sex, add sugar. I didn't say anything about adding potassium. It's B. We need to add salt. They don't have enough of it, hyponatremia. We need to add sex, our androgen hormones, which that wasn't an option here, and add sugar. There you go, hypoglycemia, right there on B, right? Why do we see hyperkalemia, which is potassium, which I didn't mention at all? You still should have known that was the answer. Again, sodium and potassium have an inverse relationship. So you expect when sodium to be low, potassium to be high, and when sodium is high, potassium to be low. B is the correct answer choice.